Truly I tell you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Matthew 18:18.
Thank you, Carol. Well said. Announcements and then, yeah. So we are short on announcements today, which means you probably get to leave earlier. The big announcement, well, maybe you won't leave earlier, is the potluck after church. People bring the most incredible food. Stay even if you didn't bring anything, please, because there is always enough. It's a God thing. Yeah, it really is. So the other announcement is at the end of the service, I will ask everybody to take all coats, purses, whatnot from the chairs. And then we move this bank of chairs stacked up against the wall. We bring tables out and put this bank of chairs around the tables. So that's kind of how we roll, and I'll remind you at the end. And now I think it's time for some music.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so thankful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so thankful. I am so blessed. Feel free to sing with me. You are so blessed. You are so blessed. You are so thankful for all that you have. You are so blessed. You are so blessed. You are so thankful. You are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so thankful for all that we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so thankful. We are so blessed.
We are so blessed. I invite you to just sit back in your chair, feel it support you, and know that Spirit supports you always and completely. So take a minute to feel any tension in your body and breathe into it. And as you breathe out, know that tension leaves you. Lower your shoulders, maybe roll your head around, squirm as might be needed. And welcome to this time of letting go. Let my words be your words. I bravely release outworn behaviors and embrace my bright, brilliant future. I bravely release outworn behaviors and embrace my bright, brilliant future. And so we breathe. A few slow, deep breaths. And then let your breathing return to its normal operation. I let go of anxiety, of fear, of minor worries. And in doing so, I open to possibility, to happiness, to a sense of freedom. If I am entwined in a challenging relationship, I turn to Spirit and know that releasing that relationship frees not only me, but the other from the angst we carry. And with any fraught situation, any grief or sadness, we know in turning to Spirit, the only way out is through. We feel the grief. We feel the sadness. And that is perfectly okay. Feeling it is what allows us to release it, to let it go, repeatedly if necessary. And as we let it go, we make room for more good. For ourselves and anyone else involved in the situation. For we know that we are filled with Spirit in every cell of our body and our minds. And this same Spirit that fills us fills everyone else, even when we can't see it. And since this Spirit fills us and everyone else, we are truly one. We are of the same energy. We are of the same unconditional love. And when we pray, we can send our energy. We can send the energy of love, the energy of faith, the energy of knowing that all is well despite appearances. We each walk our journey, and we are each unconditionally supported by Spirit, as we are by the chairs, the bed, the floor that supports us now, that keeps us planted on the earth. And so let's take a moment to open our hearts and feel the love that constantly pours through. And as we notice, as we allow this love to fill us, we move to a place of great gratitude to live in this amazing, complex, delightful, delicious experience we call life. We are so grateful, and so we let it be. Amen.
Here's a little song I wrote. You might wanna sing it note for note. Don't worry, be happy. In every life we have some trouble, but when you worry you make it double. Don't worry, be happy. Let me hear ya. Ooh, 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 Ain't got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed. Don't worry, be happy. The landlord said your rent is late. He may have to litigate, but don't worry, oh, be happy. Ooh, 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 ooh. Don't worry, be happy. Ooh, let me hear you guys. Ooh, 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 ooh. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style, ain't got no gal to make you smile, but don't worry, be happy. 'Cause when you worry your face will frown, and that will bring everybody down. So don't worry, be happy. Ooh, 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 There's a little song I wrote. I hope you learned it note for note. Don't worry, be happy. Now listen to what I said. In your life expect some trouble. When you worry, you make it double. So ooh, 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 ooh. Don't worry, be happy. Ooh, 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 ooh. All together. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Minor adjustments. I have the incredible pleasure of introducing our speaker, who will be on screen. Her name is Reverend Dr. Martha Creek, and she is one of Linda's dear friends and one of Linda's greatest teachers, and she's been one of my greatest teachers since I took a class from her at the village years ago. What can I say? She's incredible. Here we go. We'll read the formal bio. Martha, excuse me. When my ears clog, my head echoes. Okay. Martha's mission and vision is as concise and clear as she is. Her vision and mission is go within or go without. That expresses her depth of spirit along with her marvelous sense of humor. As a speaker, minister, leader, coach, consultant, and facilitator, Martha Creek is often described as having a spirit of innocence, playfulness, compassion, and generosity, all of which support her in being able to deliver a great deal of information in a profoundly simple, dynamic, personal, humorous, and attainable way. Reverend Linda says, Martha has been my mentor, my teacher, my inspiration, my friend for more than 15 years. How lucky am I? And I would add, I. Martha is more interested in being present to those she is serving than in talking about what she has accomplished, and her accomplishments are enormous. They include bachelor's degrees in accounting, human resources, and organizational management, as well as a graduate degree from Emerson Theological Seminary. She has also attended Hoffman Institute, Byron Katie International School, Healthy Congregations and Family Systems, Lombard Mennonite Peace Center Mediation Skills and Conflict Resolution Program, Transcendental Meditation, Reiki, and more. In addition, Martha has served in a ministerial role in both religious science and unity churches. And with that, I believe we are ready. Oh, her talk is called, here it is. It's called The Universal Christ Consciousness. Enjoy.
Everybody, it's Martha Creek, marthacreek.com to contact me directly. Many, many blessings to you today. The topic for our reflection, contemplation, and to be clear, it's commentary that I have. I don't claim to have any answers for anybody, but I was so inspired by the notion of a universal Christ. The universal Christ. This is pertinent to the primordial, basic teachings of unity. The Christ within us, the Christ within each and every one of us, and how to live that out in the world. So then, not just to understand that theoretically, but how to be this. So I led a group last year through an exploration of this notion of the universal Christ and the universal Christ consciousness. So it's been very, very inspiring to me to look again at this. And it felt very much to my soul like getting back to essentials, getting back to the truth, living the truth. So these past couple of years, and directly, especially these last couple of years, has stretched many of us in ways that could not ever have been predicted. That was shocking to some, traumatizing to some, awakening to some. There's some, obviously, that we see benefit from it and what it's required of us to do, what we had to not just go through, but to grow through. So anybody then a seeker, for anybody longing to find a grounding in God, a grounding in divine love, a grounding in our 12 powers, inherent innate powers, especially during these uncertain days, and to explore unity's contemplative practices of that, not just the theory that there's one power, one presence, but I am that with that. That I am praying and meditating, longing for that grounding, longing for that connection, and affirming that I have it, affirming that I am that I am, and then how to live this out. So that then through these practices, it helps to open our hearts, open our minds to God's presence, God's infinite loving presence, and to include and transcend through what we've not yet included yet. So there's the order to it, then there's disorder, and then reorder. So in our very simple way of filing through our own minds, the human mind files it as a very simple binary system. Good, bad, right, wrong, too much, too little. So it's a judgmental system, judging system. It's the operating system of the mind. And this binary thinking, this binary closed system of thinking has kept us from seeing that when history evolves with a new idea, with a new cultural tone, or a new cultural mood, or a heightened consciousness, we dare not to exclude the previous ideas, the previous mood, or a previous consciousness, but to include that. We grow best by including what was good, what worked, what was effective, what was productive, whatever you want to call it, and lasting of the previous stage. This is well defined in spiral dynamics, for example. So we're not throwing away that. We're integrating that. We're bringing, as we grow our best new iterations of ourselves, we're including what was extraordinary about the previous stages of our life, and avoiding the overreaction and the rebellious spirit, the rebel spirit, the defiant, immature spirit in us that have characterized most revolutions up until now. So this demands of us humility. It demands of us a capacity for non-dual thinking, qualities that are rare, qualities that are more rare. So a small committed group of people that make a very significant change in the world. So then it's a shift out of this either or thinking that creates this disjunction and mistrust. So we're moving then from either or thinking to both and thinking. Both and thinking creates continuity, inclusivity. It creates then a trust within ourselves that we're making decisions based on taking responsibility for our own soul's evolution. So it's also a less violent, a non-violent compromise can most simply be stated as include and transcend. Include and go higher. Include and rise above. Include and see this rightly. What can I do to get more right with this? It is the core of what we mean by wisdom. The wisdom to know this. We can trust and even need certain kinds then of disorder. There will be disorder. Have you noticed? There will be disorder. There's things that are disruptive. We can trust it instead of, oh, can you believe, or OMG. So instead of OMG, it's like, of course there will be disorder, of course. And it's not out of order. It's included. Order, disorder, reorder. And there's always a few needed correctives to any new proposition. So those correctives, course corrections, only appear over time and with devoted practices. So every reforming then becomes its own new way of being. So then the more painful patterns of growth begin again. And this is the rub of evolution, like the grinding of the tectonic plates. And to accept that this is a part of reality. So as we get real about this, I've spoken before about a significant loss I had in my life of a beloved family member. And I felt like my heart dissolved. And it feels like I have a big heart. And who knows what's big, but I love my heart. I love how I feel in my heart. I love what my heart leads me to do. And it's like my heart dissolved. And I think about that, you've heard it so many times, like that caterpillar has to dissolve into goo and then reform itself to have legs and wings and be able to be that butterfly. So my heart dissolved. I don't know any other way to say it. I use words like recalibrated, readjusted. But the most honest word that most accurately describes what happened is my heart reformed itself. It reformed itself. And it is a stronger heart. It is a softer heart. It is a more awakened heart. It is a more integrated heart with what the nature of things is that includes life and it passing. Life and living and death. And to see the preciousness of the life and the death. So whatever rub we have has purpose also. Like we won't have fire without rubbing sticks together or striking something. So then we can rightly achieve a more integration of this plan with correctives, with adjustments, with reformation, reforming ourselves. And what we will call then, for the matters of this presentation, reorder. Order, disorder, reorder. So then reorder moves us forward. Reorder moves us forward in a positive way. It then sets the stage for a new patterning, a new way of being, new neural pathways. So then we create the world we want to live in, be the change we want to see in the world. Even good order, then good reorder, order, disorder, reorder, even good reorder in times will become faulty. It'll have cracks and it'll have to go into disorder again in order for there to be a new order and a new reorder. So the need for humility never stops. The need for humility. It's one of my favorite words, y'all. Have you ever looked it up? Like it literally means something like being reduced to nothing. But the power of not trying to be a something. Humility. Think about it. The need for humility never stops. The need for creativity won't stop. The need for innovation, this higher upper chamber of our room that's capable of doing this innovative recreation, then these patterns have to be easier when the lifespan was 40 years old. We didn't have to go through as many of these cycles, but now the life cycle is 80 years old. So we're going to be going through these cycles more and more and more. And if we get wearier and wearier at these cycles, then we're wearier and wearier about life and meeting life on its terms. So order by itself normally wants to eliminate any disorder. It's chaotic. It's so chaotic. It's like, of course. Of course, instead of, oh, it's so chaotic, it's like, of course it's chaotic at times. Chaotic at times. And I'm telling you, friends, this sometimes has been a grounding landing pad for me, just to use the words. Oh, it's so chaotic sometimes. It's so uncomfortable sometimes. So then this wanting to eliminate disorder, we surrender that, hopefully, or suffer more and more and more. Then we get a more clear cognitive path that understands the need and the nature of all three. Then disorder by itself closes us off. Disorder can routinely close us off from union, from communion, from oneness, from people, from ourselves, from our source. Instead of now, in the times of disorder, that's when I'm going to go deeper. In the times of that disorder, when there seems to be a crack, when there's a fissure, a break of some sort, I'm going in. I'm going to use my spiritual practice. I'm going to connect myself to source, even and especially in this disorder. And then reorder, the transformation of myself, the transformation of my old BS belief systems, the transformation of my old BS, the belief systems, the transformation of my old patterned, instinctual, knee-jerk way of being happens when I see how these work together. And we've got a lot of potential, infinite potential to navigate this, to begin again, to accept the laws of this, and to continue to wake up to this, what the scientists speak of, this vast energy of light, what the mythologies speak about as the journey, the fall, the return to home. Religions speak about as birth and sin and rebirth and failure and forgiveness and catastrophe and then hope. These cycles are built in the Garden of Eden, the fall, paradise. The psalm of orientation, the psalm of disorientation, the psalms of new orientation. The Hebrew scriptures refer to it as the law, prophets, wisdom. Speakers refer to it as thesis, antithesis, synthesis, wholly affirming, wholly denying, wholly reconciling. So much here. Solution, dissolution, resolution, construction, destruction, construction. And often said in unity, life, crucifixion, resurrection. So think about this, friends. What it would mean for you in your life to make room for all of it. The prevalence of this recurring theme since all of recorded history now must be considered. So we're less surprised, less jacked up over it, less frustrated, less irritated, more resourceful, more innovative, more reforming, humble, willing, and the absolute certainty that progress is not a straight, uninterrupted line, that reorder moves us forward and then sets the stage for the patterns to begin all over again. So what does this demand of you? What does this demand of you as a leader, as a teacher, as a conscious evolutionary principle? More than anything else, humility, creativity, find a way, find a way. The virtues offer the detachments and patience that allow history to move forward. Then life, God, universe submits. Every original order learns to include an assured disorder, which morphs into and creates a new reordering. And we begin again and begin again and begin again. So begin to think about that today, how your life would shift, living these principles out of accepting humbly and purposefully, intentionally creating conscious creation around the absolute law and nature of order, disorder, reorder. I delight at your power. I delight in your potential. I absolute confer a blessing of miracles to you for this day, this week, this year. And if there's any way I can serve you, get directly in touch with me. MarthaCreek.com.
And the way I think she synthesized it perfectly in a class I took, and this little crisp teaching opened up my mind to so much. I think I've shared it with you before, but it's, you can rail against, you can argue with reality all you like, that's perfectly okay. Just know that you're never going to win that battle. So acceptance, yeah, it's all about acceptance in order to be reborn. All right, so we have to bless our gifts. We don't have to, but I want to. It's here somewhere. So I'll make it up. We are so grateful. I think everyone in this little community, growing community, is grateful for whatever kind of support you bring in, whether it's financial, volunteer, serving on the board. There are so many roles here that are available, and we are so grateful for everyone's contribution, whatever it looks like. So, I'll say it once, and then we'll say it together, the blessing of, maybe we should collect it first, huh? No, we bless it first, then we collect it. All right. I will say it. I give joyfully and easily, for God is my source, and abundance is my nature. I give joyfully and easily, for God is my source, and abundance is my nature. And in honor of our dear departed Reverend Mac, I cannot outgive God. Go ahead. Wow. Shall we give them a blessing? Children of light, we love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are. Miss Sky, you want to give us a report?
On anything?
Do you still have your mind?
Hold on. Hi. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be reporting on other than we've got a full house today. I can say that it's a good opportunity. I am looking for anybody who would be interested in volunteering as part of the children's program in whatever small or large way. But I'm looking for a few individuals that would like to assist either during Sundays on days where I need just a little bit of extra help as we're growing, as well as we are starting up. Yeah, right there. Yeah. We are going to be starting what's called a date night. And that's actually for you guys, not for these ones. But once a month, I'm going to host a children's evening here at the church where parents can come and drop everybody off, and we get to take over the church for a night. But in order to do that, I do need at least one other adult person with me. So I'm looking for people that maybe wouldn't mind volunteering once a month, maybe every couple of months, so that we can get that program started and up and running, so that we can hopefully bring some more people in and enjoy the space, because we've got it. So
Yeah.
If you are interested, please come see me, and I'll let you know more about what it is we're trying to do.
Now can I have this?
Okay, you can just say 2 words.
2 words?
I want everybody to, so the children's game is coming up, and some people are not going to come, but
Okay.
That's good. Thank you, Lily. Thank you so much. You can tell me more later, okay? And I just want to add, bring your grandchildren, and give their parents a night off. That's a great idea. Oops. Oh. Let's be careful. All right, let's sing some songs. How about a prayer for protection? Prayer for protection. My pleasure. It's in here, I'm sure, somewhere. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God infills us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And now the peace song. Let's come down and make a circle. Circle up, everybody. Circle the wagon.
Yes, I hope she can still find grace in doing the second one. Oh, it's here. It's a cherry. You don't have it. Stop the cherry.
This is a round one. I don't know. Let's put this back.
That's bad. Jerry said he folded them and they look good. No one gave me a one. This one's bad.
This round, it's round.
No. Yeah, don't use that one.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, you don't need that.
So, but just
Yeah, don't make it pretty. That has to definitely go with me.
go with you.
I think they are. How do you like the new house?
When I know. Yeah.
Liz gives you a personal copy. Come in there. Yeah, and that's Larry. Right.
Bring it up a little bit more.
Just like right by the tool shop,